Brought to you by Prell Concentrate in the unbreakable tube. Concentrated so just a little makes lots of lather. Prell Concentrate. And now let's all play What's My Line? And now, live from New York, let's meet our What's My Line panel. First, actress, mother, and travel agent, wife and nightclub partner of Steve Allen, Miss Jayne Meadows.
Thank you so much. And now the next panelist is a very handsome gentleman with whom I have been having the wildest romance for the last 14 years, Mr. Steve Allen.
Thank you. And now one of my favorite people who you will be interested to know is opening Tuesday night on Broadway in that great play Dinner at 8, Arlene Francis.
And now a gentleman who has every reason to be very proud indeed. Random House has just published perhaps one of the greatest books of its long, successful career, The Unabridged Dictionary. And here is the man responsible, Mr. Bennett, sir.
Thank you, Arlene. Here is the loquacious pangendrum of this little frolic, John Charles Daly.
Fine. May I say, Mr. and Mrs. Allen, Jayne Meadows, it's nice to have you back.
Thank you, John.
This panel together. Actually, it's a good night to have you here because we're going to play some tricks tonight. I might as well put you all on good notice. So you better be on your toes. Bennett, I congratulate you on your new dictionary. If I read the press properly, it has 260,000 words in it.
Wonderful cast, too.
Yes. The only thing that frightens me is that's 260,000 words on which he can perpetrate a pun. And that's frightening. But I have warned you that we're out to play some games tonight. We've got some very interesting occupations. We'll also have a famous mystery guest before you all a little bit later in the program. But right now, let's meet our first contestant. Will you enter and sign in, please? Howard Pomeranz. Right, sir? Pomeranz, where are you from?
Great Neck, New York.
Great Neck, New York. That's out on Long Island, is it?
That's right.
Nice to have you with us. May I present the panel, Mr. Pomeranz? Now, if you'll join me over here, sir, we'll let the audience at home and the audience in the theater know exactly what your line is. All right, panel, we can tell you that Mr. Pomeranz is self-employed and deals in a product, and I think we'll begin things with Jayne Meadows.
Well, there was quite a reaction to your line, Mr. Pomeranz. May I assume that both men and women might avail themselves of your product?
Yes.
Would women possibly be more interested in this product than men?
Probably.
Would I, do you think, have this product?
Yes.
Is it something that I might use daily?
Yes.
Might I have used it tonight, do you think?
Yes.
Is it a product that's smaller than a bread box?
Oh, yes.
Would it come in the cosmetic line?
Yes.
Is it something that would be used from the neck up?
Yes.
On the face?
Yes.
Is it a bright color? Sometimes.
Could be sometimes, might be, yes.
Sometimes a bright color.
You're generous.
Is it in the lipstick line? Is it a form of lipstick?
No.
No, that's one down and 9 to go, Steve.
Do you put it all over the face?
Well, it's pretty much up to you, I would say,
Yes.
wouldn't you? Yeah, pretty much up to you.
Does it come in a jar?
No.
No, that's 2 down and 8 to go, Miss Francis.
Are there special ones for special people? Are they different in any way for different people? Whatever it is.
No, I wouldn't think so. We don't deny that they are different one from the other, but not necessarily for different people. That's 3 down and 7 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Mr. Pomerantz, are they either a powder or a liquid?
No.
That makes it 4 down and 6 to go, Jayne Meadows.
Not a powder, not a liquid, not lipstick. It's used by men and women.
It's infuriating to think that I must be looking at it at this moment. I can't see it.
Oh. Well, now, men don't use false eyelashes. Would it be in the pencil or mascara line?
No.
No, and let me say that you did, Jane, elicit that while it's acceptable and has to be accepted that it's used by men and women, you were perfectly right when you adduced that it was used in the main by the distaff side.
By the women.
Mr. Allen?
Would it just be simple makeup?
No. That's 6 down and 4 to go, Miss Francis.
Could you buy it in a drugstore?
Yes, you could.
Is it visible to the eye?
Yes.
Is
When?
it... Pardon me?
When? In use, you mean?
When you've got it on?
When in use?
When in use?
When in use, yeah. I'm going to get clubbed.
Do you think I've got it on as well as Jane? Do you want to get closer? Oh, you got it on?
Now, let me just give you a warning here. Nobody has said either Jane or you has it on. We've
Yes, Jane
agreed.
said.
No, use.
Well, what is she
May
doing?
I have it? Could I use it? Yes, we didn't say she had it on. This was an assumption made by you all, not by any answer we
Oh, I
gave.
thought you asked whether you had it. Oh.
I asked if I might use it today.
Yes, and
or
we said
tonight.
yes. We said
Yes,
you might
but
indeed,
it wasn't
Mr. Cerf.
established.
Is this used more in one part of the above the neck than another?
Not necessarily.
What I mean was, would be used more above the mouth than below the mouth?
Not necessarily.
It would not?
Not
I wish I was expert in this matter. No, I would think probably, Bennett, it would be misleading if we said yes. So we'll say no, okay?
Thank
That's
you,
8
John.
down and 2 to go, Jane.
Well, now, that's very peculiar. It's something that women use more than men, but men can use it. Now, it's not powder, it's not grease, it's not liquid, it's not a pencil,
Who needs
not
it?
eyelashes.
It's Superman.
It's a form of makeup. It's not a pan-sticky makeup, is it? I say it's not.
No, I'm just getting ready.
Yes, I saw that hand, John. Let's see. Is it... Well, I'll actually ask, am I wearing it, do you think, tonight, here?
No.
Wearing it right
I'm
here?
not.
No, you're not wearing it right here. That's 9
Ah.
down and 1 to go, Mr. Allen.
Would it be fair to assume that Jane used it this evening, and its effects are now visible, but the thing itself is not?
Yes, that would be a
Yes,
fair
I think
assumption.
that's fair.
Then it's Ajax the Foaming Cleanser. Does it remove anything?
It could, yes.
But we would not suggest that that's its principal function.
You haven't had anything removing in the last...
Not that I will admit to, no.
We have a conference a second.
You may have 30 seconds for conference.
You know, might ask if it's any paper in it. Might be Kleenex or something like that.
All right.
I just wonder.
Bennett finds himself curious as to whether it has paper in it.
No paper, but
Thanks,
at least
Bennett.
you're on the right stake.
Can I
Yeah,
ask one
take
thing?
a guess.
Is it anything like a mud pack?
No. It isn't, but how about a nice, simple, wonderful little thing like a powder puff? Mr. Pomerantz is treasurer of Victoria Vogue Company, and they make nothing but powder puffs under the trade name Luscious, which I think is a nice...
Sweet.
I think we
Nice
all
idea.
of us used a powder puff tonight.
Yeah, and you see, the thing is that I hope I didn't mislead you, but we have to agree that men do use them because, for instance, if you're in television...
I use a Brillo pad myself.
You use a Brillo pad.
I know men do use it.
But Bennett uses a powder puff. Well, we stuck them. Thank you, Mr. Pomerantz. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly did. Nice to have you with us. We'll have another contestant for you in just a moment after this word. Now to meet our next challenger. Will you enter and sign in, please? Charlotte? Crowell, right? Is that Miss or Mrs. Charlotte Crowell?
It's Mrs.
Mrs. Crowell.
Yes.
Where are you from?
I'm from Syracuse, New York.
Syracuse, New York. Nice to have you with us. Mrs. Crowell, may I present the panel?
Hello.
And now will you join me over here, ma'am, and we'll let the audience in the theater and the audience at home know exactly what your line is. All right. Panel, we can tell you that Mrs. Crowell is salaried and deals in a service. And we'll begin things with Bennett Cerf.
Mr. Crowell, just to make sure no trick is being played on me, we have a branch in Syracuse. May I assume that you have nothing whatever to do with any part of Random House?
No, sir, nothing.
You haven't. I don't trust John Daly, you say. Mr. Crowell, does the...
Hurts me when you say that.
Does the service that you perform... It's the service you perform.
Right.
Is the service performed for human beings?
Yes, definitely.
Definitely. For both sexes, is it performed?
Yes.
With more or less equal...
That would be hard to say, Bennett. We would say that both sexes could inquire and then require the service that is purveyed, but we really wouldn't have an idea, you know, how the mix might be, but they both could do it.
You are salaried.
Yes.
Do you work for a profit-making organization?
Yes, indeed. They hope.
They hope. When you perform your service, do you come into physical contact with the people that are availing themselves of that service?
No.
That's 1 down and 9 to go. Jayne Meadows.
Mrs. Crowell, when you perform your service, are you dressed in any particular uniform or costume other than as you are dressed now, or?
I wear, working clothes, yes.
You wear, but just regular clothes. It's not a special uniform or outfit of any kind?
Well, there's a small element of identification about it, Jane, but actually it working clothes would cover it. It would be...
I see.
Something she would wear as much because it was protective as because it was identifiable.
Thank you. Is there any product involved in this service of yours?
You mean in relationship to
yes.
the buyer of the service? No, there isn't.
No product.
That's 2 down and 8 to go. Mr. Allen.
I was fascinated, Mrs. Crowell, by the fact that you wrote your signature up and down instead of sideways. Am I correct in assuming, however, that fact tells us nothing whatever about your secret?
Nothing.
I see. I thought perhaps you lettered barber poles or something.
All those Japanese.
Is there anything... Are you connected with any mechanical device in your work? Any machine of any kind?
No machines, no.
But a mechanical device. I got to know on that eventually.
No machine. That's right. So sorry about that machine. That's 3 down and 7 to go, Miss French.
Can you work out of doors at all on your job, Mrs. Crowell?
Yes.
And what you would wear would be a protective kind of covering, a coverall sort of thing?
Yes.
Can people see you performing this job, whatever it is?
Yes.
Are there others beside yourself that do this kind of work, other women?
Yes.
But is it an unusual job for a woman?
Possibly.
Does it require some amount of dexterity and skill?
Yes.
But you don't need any formal training for this job.
Not formal training, no.
No. Do you use any implements in your work?
Yes.
Are those applied to something, those implements?
Yes.
Are they applied to anything that is ever on the ground?
You mean lying flat upon the ground?
It could be on the ground rather than sideways, standing up and down like her handwriting.
Ah, no, that would knock it off. That's 4 down and 6 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Mrs.
Going to give you
Crowell,
1 more minute.
one other big company, of course, in Syracuse is General Electric. May I assume you have nothing to do with the General Electric company?
No, I haven't.
Haven't. Have you got anything to do with transportation of any kind?
No.
Nope, that's 5 down and 5 to go. Jane?
Is a great deal of physical strength involved in what you do, since it's a job more likely done by men?
No, I would say not a great deal of physical strength, no. Mr. Allen?
Does your work bring you into the field of athletics?
I wish it did, no.
7 down and 3 to go, Arlene.
Could you work on the exterior of a building in any way?
Yes, I could.
Could you change the look of anything on the outside of a building?
Yes, I think possibly.
You are not a window washer. You are a window washer.
Very good, Arlene. Yes, Steve.
John, it occurs to me that there may be some psychological significance to the way she writes her name.
Actually, Mrs. Crowell is with the New York Window Cleaners, Inc. up in Syracuse, and she's a member of Building Service Employees Union Local 200 and is a real
With you, I should think everybody would like to have glass houses. No.
And she works, you know, you've worked as high as 8 floors up, haven't you?
10, yes.
10 floors up.
Good girl.
Have
On a
fun.
regular scaffold, Mrs. Crowell, or an electric one?
Our company now has an electric scaffold. And, but I prefer a belt.
Which kind are you referring to?
A lot of people would prefer to give Bennett a belt, too. Thanks very much for being here with us. Nice to have you, Mr. We'll meet tonight's mystery guest in just a moment, but first... And now the special feature of our program, the appearance of our mystery challenger, for which the panel is always blindfolded. Blindfolds in place, panel?
Yes.
Good. Will you enter mystery challenger and sign in, please? Panel, as you know, we go to a different form of questioning, one question at a time, in turn moving clockwise, and let's begin things with Arlene Francis.
Are you associated with the theater?
That's a yes. Mr. Cerf?
Well, are you associated in any way with a theater involving a member of this panel?
Miss Meadows?
I'm going to have to disqualify myself, John, on this spot, and I'll explain it to you later.
All right, Steve?
And you'll explain it to me, too, Jane. Are you appearing... I naturally link this with the Bennett's question. Are you appearing in the play that I mentioned Arlene is opening in?
You can't have all of us disqualify ourselves. There won't be anybody to play. I have a feeling... What?
Steve and I'll play it if you want to quit.
Yes, because I know that in the voice, and I think it would be better for just Steve and Bennett to fight over this girl.
Oh, it's a girl.
Bennett?
Is there more than one of you here tonight? Is there more than one mystery guest?
That
What
was
was
a
that?
yes. That was a yes, too. Steve?
Oh, dear.
The whole darn kid.
Well, sir, am I correct in assuming you are not Toby Wing? Yes, you are. I'll have to go at it slowly because I haven't found out yet who's the rest of the cast, Arlene. I'm sorry to say.
Steve?
No, I thought I just had one question at a time.
Oh, you really meant that seriously. All right, then, Bennett.
That's as serious as it's going to get tonight, John.
Is there possibly assembled on the stage the entire cast of Dinner at 8?
We're going to throw all the cards over for any whatever good purpose, because it's not the entire cast, it's the stars. The 10 stars are with us here tonight.
And I came early to the theater tonight and ran into June and Darren in the corridor, and then just put 2 and 2 together when we were coming downstairs that they must be here for that reason.
Good sport.
Very good.
I'm honest anyway.
Arlene, would you do me a favor?
I'd like them all to play their parts right now.
Now, I would like you, if you will, come out stage center, will you, and present each member, or each co-star with you, and as they go to say their hellos to the panel, because I think that's a much better way to introduce. Come down center stage. Here. About here? I think that'd be right. Fine. And everybody can come out this way.
Jeffrey Lynn?
Yeah, if you will.
Jeffrey Lynn, and Walter Pigeon, my lovely little... And June Havoc, who plays the lovely hostess. And Pamela Tiffin, who is the witch. And lovely Mindy Carson, who is in it. And Bruce Ford, who glitters now. And Bennett. And Robert Burr, who plays... And Darren McGavin. And one of the loveliest ladies in the theater who receives an ovation every night, Miss Blanche Yerka.
Well, it's Tuesday night at the Alvin Theater that Dinner at 8 is going to open. And it's exciting, you know, for all of us who are my age, because Dinner at 8 opened in, what, 1932, I guess, wasn't it, Arlene?
Yes.
32 or 33, because I remembered, and it was a giant on the stage of its day, but has never been revived before.
It was a big movie.
It was a big movie, but this is the first time it's ever been revived, and I must say it is the work of the late George Kaufman and the present and talented Edda Ferber, and it's been directed by Sir Turan Guthrie, Dr. Guthrie, and I hope you'll all come, and it was terribly nice of you to have them all on.
This was a big surprise for you. We hoped to embarrass you and stick you and have you running all over the place, but we didn't work.
You should say one of the biggest stars of all ought to get up and take a special bow.
I think that's a good idea. One of the biggest stars of all should stand up. Well, I will only add that for those of us who live in New York and those who are going to visit New York, it's an exciting time. The theater these days often is quarreled about, but this is an exciting night, and I think it's going to be one of the great opening nights on Broadway in many, many a moon, Arlene, and I'm glad you're a part of it. You've done very well tonight, Pendle, and I give you some congratulations. None of our tricks really worked, I guess, and we'll all be back after. And Miss Arlene, we're mighty proud of you, and Mr. and Mrs. Steve Allen. It's a joy to always to have you with us.
Thank you, John. It was lovely to be here again, and good night, darling. I'll see you later, and Arlene, we will see you at dinner at 8.
I hope so.
Incidentally, John, I want you to know that not only is Bennett publishing the new edition of the Unabridged Dictionary, but he has just sold the motion picture rights to Joe Levine. Isn't that wonderful? Good night, Arlene. Good night.
That is a bigger cast. Good night, Bennett.
I rather like that window washer, didn't you, John?
I thought that the window washer was wonderful because we came within an ace of really hanging you on that one. We didn't quite make it, but almost. And it's a joy when we stick them, I'll tell you that. And thanks to all of you for being with us on What's My Line?
What's My Line? Television Network production in association with Mark Goodson and Bill Cosby. This is Johnny Olson speaking. Francis Gowan from Bonwit Teller.